Hello there. It's been a kind of busy winter so far. I've been busy working on models and gaining weight. Unfortunately, I've been probably gaining more weight than I have been building models. I need to do something about that. Anyhow, so this weekend, actually, my daughter's been like really sick, and when she had influenza about a month or so ago, she was mostly okay, but this, whatever she has now, it's really knocked her down. So I've spent a lot of my weekend taking care of her.
You saved me, rebel soldier. Why? When the force is with you, your duty is to do good.
And so, while I was taking care of her, I took the opportunity to just do a whole lot of decaling work. And so I started working on this guy again, the refit, and actually I discovered I had a whole bunch of footage recorded from like October of 2015 of working on this, and I've tacked on some new video onto that, and I just finished compiling that video, and I'll upload that probably soon. Something I will say about this kit, the decals, they can be a little bit difficult and finicky. They are fairly sturdy, although I haven't touched this kit in quite a long time, actually. So previously I did the top saucer, and it was coming along fairly nicely. Bottom, maybe not so much, and I have a reason behind that. So I hadn't touched this in like well over a year, and I got the box out. Like I said, my daughter was sick, and I wanted to just work on this at the table while my daughter was kind of laying on the floor. Japanese tables, they have like a space heater underneath the table, and like a quilt that goes underneath the top of the table. It's called a kotatsu, and you can put your legs under the quilt, and it keeps you nice and warm. So she was kind of spacing out and half asleep or whatever. Anyhow, so I started doing some of the decal work on this, and I had a couple of, like, the first one went on fine. Like, when you go around in a counterclockwise manner, this one went on fairly well. And then by the time I did like these three here, they were breaking up on me, and I don't know what was going on. So what I had intended to do is to dump the microscale liquid decal film into my airbrush and give it a go that way, and just spray it on to the decals. Although me being stupid, I put this in the airbrush and sprayed this in here on accident.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
And I kind of freaked out, and I posted on a Scale Model Addict. Actually, Bad Grendels, if you watch his YouTube channel, he is starting to build this here, and I shared my big mistake of actually somebody had caught it, because I said, oh yeah, I airbrushed the micro set onto the decals, and he's like, are you sure you don't want to do liquid decal film instead? And I'm like, oh crap, oh my gosh. And so what I did that evening is I just got out the big ammunition here. I got the decal bonder by Testers, and I sprayed that all over the decals. So yeah, they're still okay. Maybe not the best. They're maybe a little brittle, I suppose. So that's probably my fault, I'm sure. But yeah, the first few I put on were just kind of giving me troubles, and I had noticed a tiny little bit of mildew was growing on some of the decal paper. Fortunately, not on the decals, but just on the actual paper, and it really kind of messed me up. Unfortunately, there's no really good definite guide on like a line or anything to line the decals on, so they're kind of uneven. But there's this that science array that sticks onto the bottom, which will hopefully um, obscure some of the unevenness. And this blue area here, I didn't really line it up properly, so it's kind of shifted over here, but there's nothing on this side hardly. Maybe that's okay though, because although actually just looking at it right now, I can see that there's like a gap. The neck goes in there, so it probably won't be that noticeable anyways, and it's kind of tucked up underneath the ship. So maybe I shouldn't really worry too much. I will say that I am pretty honored, though, because I do get a lot of people who watch these videos, and I'm really not that experienced. Well, I don't know. I don't want to. I I don't want to have any false humility or whatever. I mean, I've been building models for a while now, but I'm not as experienced as other people, and it is honoring. It is an honor though that a lot of these more experienced modelers are watching my videos. I will never assume that I know what I'm doing, because as Socrates once said, the only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing. And I think that's kind of my motto for my modeling channel here, is that I'm never going to assume that I know what I'm doing, and this is just all a learning experience. The other part, actually today, I was going to do a lot of, um, airbrushing and such. I had wet sanded this afternoon, the Oldsmobile, and I was going to put it on like another coat, and this time make it go wet. Unfortunately, my airbrush was completely clogged. It's working now, but like the button here was not working at all. I would push it down and it wouldn't do anything, and I just cleaned and cleaned and cleaned. I know some people, I've read online, a lot of people, they just run, these people mostly work with acrylics, and all they do is just run some alcohol through it, and then that's it, and then they're satisfied. But I don't think even that is really a good thing to do. You need to just take it apart and clean it after every major use. So, what else? I have been working on the Y-wing, this little small Y-wing. I'm at the point now where I'm just going to be doing some hand painting from now on, I think. So that's looking really nice. I have started another Star Destroyer, and this is a lighter colored Star Destroyer. I wanted to just make it a little bit of a lighter color, and that is actually, I'm using Mr. Color 338 light gray, and I have so many different light grays, but this is a pretty nice light gray to have, I think. It's nice and bright colored, and with just a little bit of a cool blue tint to it. This time I'm not going to be using any Tamiya stuff. Okay, this panel line accent color, people, if you can get a hold of this, it's pretty nice, actually. It is enamel based, so it's basically just really super thin enamel paint with a whole bunch of enamel thinner in it. It's good for doing panel lines. However, it seems like Bandai Plastic is just not good with this stuff at all. Another thing that Bandai Plastic is weak to is turpentine, and I kind of found that out as well. I would not recommend either of these things on Bandai Plastic. This is good on other stuff, as far as I know, in my experience, but just don't do it on Bandai. Now, in all the modeling magazines, they use a lot of Mr. Weathering color. I have not used this. My friend Darren, Tokyo Model Detective, he swears by this. He loves these a lot, and it's a lot more versatile. And it has its own special solvent just for this. And I'm assuming that this stuff is a lot kinder to Bandai plastic. So I've read a lot of people on, especially the Starship Modeler forum, they have said the same thing, that I don't know about this stuff, but enamel thinner and turpentine, it's really just no good with Bandai plastic. And I had done my, what the hell? I'll have to unpack it, don't I? Huh. My Macross Destroid. Oh, here it is. It is behind me. Enamel thinner was a bit rough on this. Rough.
Oh, rough, just the way your mother likes it, Trebek.
And so I'm not going to be using enamels and stuff on this. This is an EMI kit, but it was repopped by Bandai. I don't know. One of the main reasons why I'm redoing that Star Destroyer is, well, first of all, I kind of did it in sections. I should have just put it all together and then painted it. That's the better way to go with that kit. And so that's what I'm doing now. Anyhow, a little corner had broken off. And it's not something that really should have broken off otherwise, I don't think. It was like this back corner here, and it just broke off. It's really weird. And I think it's because the Tamiya stuff had weakened the plastic a bit. And also, turpentine, what I had used on my Yamato patrol kit. There we go. Okay, I finished this a few years ago. This is the Yamato Patrol Frigate Unagi, and unfortunately, I don't know, they have a new Unagi that's coming out. Actually, I think it's already come out. And it is basically just the same as the Murasame, unfortunately, though, you know, the $21.99 ship. So, oh well. Anyhow, when I had done this, I can't remember where it was, but I had the plastic was kind of like falling off in tiny chunks even. I don't recall where it was. I think I kind of patched it back together again. But yeah, that was not good. The turpentine really worked well on this. I didn't do a build of this on YouTube, but I did do this on my Tumblr account. Somebody said that they would like to see another one of these older Yamato kit build-ups for the YouTube channel, and I'd like to do that eventually. But right now I have other things going on. Let me put this back. Okay, so something that I started doing, except my mom-in-law, she came to visit us for a week, and that was really fun. And started working on this here, the Enterprise D, and started kind of tinkering around with this. Took some of the parts off of the sprues and was doing a lot of test fitting and such, and I had an idea. also had another idea in which I'm sorry, that's crass. I had an idea of lighting this kit up. Now, I have had that plan to do the 537 refit Enterprise, but I've been told that this one will be an easier kit to work on for doing a large scale Enterprise Star Trek lighting project. So this is really big, and I got this off of my friend. He's a diehard Star Trek fan, but he got rid of his models because he didn't, he knew he was never going to get into modeling, so didn't have a box for this though. But anyhow, this is the original. This has been re-released as clear. This is obviously not clear, but I have ordered some upgrade parts through Don's Light and Magic, and he might be looking at packing up shop maybe this year. I don't know. That's what I heard. That he says that up at least until this summer that he's going to be doing orders. Who knows? A lot of people, they don't like his lack of communication, but if you pay for something, you will get your stuff in about 8 to 10 weeks or so. He's not really talkative, so don't worry about your money with him, though. He is pretty faithful. So anyhow, I want to do this, but obviously I got other stuff going on. I'm not gonna really start touching this just yet. So, when my mom-in-law was here, we took a road trip to Takasaki, which is south of where I live in Gunma Prefecture, and we visited the Yamada Denki there. And actually, it's called Labi, like the Yamada Denki Labi, L-A-B-I, and that place was just totally awesome. Yamada Denki, like when I lived in Shizuoka Prefecture, I lived in Fuji City, and they had Yamada Denki there, and the selection, like, it was okay, but they had like a selection of model kits there, but it was mostly just Gundam. They also had like some Star Wars and Yamato stuff, but it was just only Bandai. So we went to this lobby place, the Yamada Denki Labi in Takasaki, and it blew me away. It was several floors tall, and we went to, I think it was the 4th floor, because my daughter wanted us to look at the toy section, and I was just amazed. They had just row after row of aisle after aisle of Gundam crap, and then they had all of the Yamato crap and Star Wars stuff, like all in one aisle as well, and I was just like freaking out. This is so cool. They had another aisle of just character stuff, like they had the Alshima Cyber Formula. They had like the fine molds, the Wind Rises and such, whole bunch of stuff. And then I found out, I looked behind me, and there was like another perpendicular part of the store where they had like several other aisles of model kits there, and I was just so happy. That was so cool. I definitely have to go back there when I'm alone. I took some pictures with my cell phone. I put it on my Tumblr account. You can. I'll link to those pictures there. So my mom-in-law, she said, "Hey, your birthday's coming up. Pick out up to like 10,000 yen, and I'll get it for you for your birthday." I'm like, "Oh, cool." So I found one model kit that I had been wanting to get since December. It was a new release, and I hadn't touched it. And so I showed it to her. She's like, "Well, how much is it?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's way under 10,000 yen. It was only 4,000 yen." She's like, "Oh, hey, we'll just get more and go up to 10,000 yen, and that'll be like, I'll get that for you for your birthday." I'm like, "Thank you." So I had a coupon for 500 yen off because I have a Yamada Denki. I'm sorry, Denki. I keep saying this. Yamada. Okay, Denki is like an electronics. Okay, so Yamada Denki is like a home appliance electronics store. I'm sorry, there's so much that I will find myself saying, using Japanese words, and without thinking that, I'm sure most of my people who watch these videos don't even understand what I'm saying. So, anyhow, I'll show you what I got for myself first, okay? I got this new guy, the TIE Fighter set. Now it comes with a Darth Vader and a regular TIE Fighter. Tokyo Model Detective, he's done an unboxing of this, and actually I think he's done a build-up of it. It's really cool. You're just going to get solid gray parts. There's no, it's simple, right? And it builds up pretty nicely, and the stand is obviously meant for if you get another one of these things, then you can have the 3 TIE Fighters flying in formation like you saw in A New Hope. So I got this. This is free because I had that 500 yen coupon. So this, I got that, and I got another one of these guys here. I already have one of these, and so I just have plans to paint up these droids in different styles. That's my idea. Okay, so moving on. This is the stuff that my mom-in-law got for me. That I asked her to get for me. So I finally own this for myself now. So very cool. The 144 Millennium Falcon from Force Awakens. And this is the Hellcat from a manga called The Cockpit. This is Leiji Matsumoto, the guy who did he did Yamato Space Battleship Yamato. He did Galaxy Express 39, Captain Harlock, all of those really great shows. He did a manga series called The Cockpit of different World War II stories, and there was an OVA video that they released it on DVD. I think it was, or no, maybe it never made it to DVD. I know it was on VHS. I think U.S. Manga Corps had released it, and they never put it on to DVD or something like that. Anyhow, it's really cool. Of course, he has kind of a really stupid idea about World War II and such, but it's fun. It's an enjoyable show to watch. Obviously, the manga was a lot more than what you see in the OVA, though. It seems to be a lot more different stories. So I got this. So this is a 1/48 scale. This is Hasegawa. This is in their Creator Works series, and it is a F6 F5 Hellcat Hasegawa. And lastly, this is one thing that I super duper wanted, and I have been restraining myself this whole time. Oh my gosh. This is a 1/48 scale Area 88 F-14A Tomcat. This is Mickey Simon's Tomcat from the anime / manga Area 88. So cool. Now, the box picture, you don't see anything on the ailerons at all. Here, you don't see anything on here either. And when I saw this at the September All Japan Hobby Show at the Hasegawa booth, they didn't have the proper decals on there. Maybe because they just didn't want to have like pictures taken of it or whatever. But basically, it does indeed have the bunny rabbits decals. So obviously it's a ripoff of the Playboy bunny, and I think they just kind of avoided putting this into the publications and such because they don't want to have any copyright infringement or whatever. But it is accurate to the manga and anime with the bunny rabbit. And this really, I thought this was interesting. It says contain detailing parts, and I was wondering what this was about. It has rubber tires. which is pretty cool for a, scale aviation. Usually they don't do that, at least not in 72 scale, 72nd scale. And it has these little metal, I think they're metal parts. I don't know what these are about, but if you want, I can do an unboxing. Oh yeah, that's right, and it does actually have some photo etch in here too. That's cool. I didn't notice that. I looked in here before and I didn't notice this. Awesome. So I'm sure this does not compare to the brand new 148 scale Tomcat that came out last year. But this is Area 88, so I'm a nerd. I'm one of those nerds. So Hasegawa, I love you. Great stuff. So yeah, I made out with some neat crap. My loot with a bunch of Hasegawa and Bandai love. So that was my early birthday present. So I did take this apart a little bit, and I looked inside here. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to spend much time on this, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I have an idea. Tell me what you think of using these stickers. Put it on, stick them onto masking tape, and then cutting around it and using those as maskings. What do you think? I've never done it. I'd like to know if anybody has done this sort of thing before. So I'm going to end the video here. Q&A still stands. I did a video. I got a lot of responses. They said they liked the video, but there were not very many questions. What I might do is just do like a video addressing several different questions that I get the most. But yeah, if you have more questions, please let me know. Questions about what I do for modeling, supplies or tools that I have. Let me know, and you can ask me in this video's comments or in that Q&A video's comments. Let me know if you have any questions about different things. And because so far I haven't had that many questions as I did compared to the previous video from a few years ago. Okay, so that's it. I can't think of anything else to ramble on about. Spaceships are cool, so are robots and airplanes. That's about it. I can't think of anything else. So, but yeah, I do want to continue to work on stuff. Hopefully I'll get that Enterprise completed sometime soon. And actually, I kind of started on a Battlestar Galactica Cylon Raider by Revell, because during the winter the weather was so bad that I didn't really open up the windows to do any airbrushing at all. So I was just inside and I started tinkering around with some stuff. So yeah, I'm not going to upload a video, the first video for that, for a while. Probably not until I get around to resuming work on that video. But if you'd like to see it, I guess just let me know and I can upload that. So anyhow, live long and prosper.